the end of the first line is indicating that we're on that chord an additional amount of time.
G chord?
Yeah, so whatever the chord was previous, so it was G before, we're on G for another 4 beats. What I really despise about the chart is the very first chord is E minor, and then the next chord is E minor 7 slash lowercase d. Now, and you look at the second line, it's E minor and E minor 7 slash with a capitalized D. That's not good. Because that looks like we're going to go to the D chord, just by itself. So I'm not playing either the slash chord at all.
You're just playing E minor 7.
I'm just playing E minor 7. It's not E.
What's an E minor 7? How's it different?
That's just an E minor chord. And E minor 7 is just you take, if I'm playing E minor with my second and third finger, which I advise, I would take your third finger off the D string. Now you have an open D. That's the 7 of E minor. So it's E, F, G, A, B, C, D. So we have an open D string now. That's the 7 of E minor. So we're going to go like this. It sounds like
So
this.
what's the difference between the big D and the little D?
Nothing. It's just the person who wrote it up was lazy and didn't. I would have kept it a capitalized D, keep it the same. You know, when you do two different things, it makes it look like it's two completely different chords.
Wait, so E minor 7 slash E minor 7 slash D is just an E minor chord?
No, it's actually it's an E minor chord. But with the D in the bass. So basically, it's if you strum the 4 strings closest to the ground,
right,
that would be called an E minor 7 slash D, because the open D strings, the lowest note you hear. That's what they're wanting you to play. But you know, that's the person who wrote this up, which wasn't Keith, wasn't Nick, wasn't Brian Jones. We know it wasn't him.
Wasn't Charlie Watts?
It wasn't Charlie Watts.
Yeah, this
He doesn't know how to read.
I was gonna say, can he read and write? Right out of my damn.
Makes it more human though. Okay, so capo 5. This is if you want to play it with the recording, which you know. So you don't have to have a capo 5 if you want to play this at home. So it's going to be two. So I would go down, down, up for the first E minor, down, down, up for the second E minor, because those are all split measures. You might want to highlight where the measures are, so that way you can really see it, because it's all kind of cluttered in there. And then the same thing for C, and then the same thing for D, and then finally G is by itself. That's when they go into the 4-beat strum pattern. So the C and D don't look like they're in a measure together, because they're all spread out, but it's still 2 beats for each one of those chords. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. One to go to that F comes out of nowhere, especially going from D to F. That's a big jump, because there's not really, they're just completely different chords. So that might be an area to kind of like play over and over again, just that line. Okay, second verse, same as the first. And after the second verse, we go back into the chorus again. Go back to goodbye. 1, 2, 3. No question why she needs this so free. Yeah, up down, up down. Tell you it's the only way to be. Capo, what chord is this? Like, you want to know what note this is. Just like this was G, this is the G chord. Where if you know what note this is, this will be the name of this chord. So what's on the 8th fret?
C.
C, right. So play, keep your capo on and play that G, big G chord. So it'd be nice if some of us would actually, so if we're thinking that way, so if I see a G chord in this song and I don't have my capo, I have to think C instead. Now how am I going to do that? Well, what's G in relation to C? Well, you count up using the alphabet. You go G. Who comes after G? Don't say H. Don't do it. A, B, C. So it's what's called a fourth. Okay? That's called an interval. That's the distance between G and C. It's a fourth. G, A, B, C. And that's how your guitar is tuned. They're tuned mostly in fourths. E, F, G, A, B, C, D is the next one. D, E, F, G. Okay? So for every chord I see in here, if I don't have a capo, I can still play it if I can count up 4 of the alphabet for every chord that I'm playing. That takes some skill. So basically, E minor is going to be A minor, so I'll go G, then C's F, and oops, that's right. seventh chord, I still have to include that. Now, while that takes some, you get good at your alphabet. You think you're good at your alphabet?
I say, can you do that by sight reading it? Or do you have to actually like write it down? So.
You could write it down, but you can, bass players can do it really quick. They have to do it a lot. When you don't do it very often, it gets, it's kind of tricky. But in jazz, you do it often, especially when you have singers in the band, because singers, all have different voices as far as high and low, and they choose different keys to accommodate how low or high they sing. So you have to go with them. You can't tell them to say, play this song. That's not nice. It's like going over to somebody's house for dinner and saying, this is the recipe I brought for you to make. It's like, you can't do that. That would be interesting. That'd be pretty.
It's happened.
It's okay, let's play something else. It's happened.
Yep.
I'm just gonna do the down, 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 down strum pattern. That's what I'm thinking. Now, that's just a 4-beat strum pattern, as well as the down, down, up, up, down. That's a 4-beat strum pattern. It's up to you to decide which one you song would sound better doing. So, I think this one, 3/4 notes to 2/8 sounds better in this song, but that's just a personal opinion. Okay, ready? 1, 2, C, go. I like to play this one often. So avoiding the bar chord. This is how we originally played, or one way to play B minor. It might look familiar somewhat. We played that on the second fret for B minor. You play this on the 5th fret, that'll be D minor. Okay? So you're meeting your first fingers on the 5th fret, right? Now, if you move it up to the 7th fret, that's E minor. You strum only those 4 strings that you're pressing on. And then if you want to, if you go to the 8th fret, that'll be F minor. So what you could do when you play that group of 3 chords in a row, you could just move that shape around. Where it goes, you could go E minor, and then this is the end of the 3rd line. E minor, then I go to D minor, the 5th fret, then I could go to the F minor on the 8th. So some people like to keep the same shape, either that or if you played it down here, you go from E minor to D minor. Sometimes I play D minor with my pinky instead, and then to this big old F minor. So people try to avoid that one. So, something to consider. That's what I think is neat about this song, is D minor to F minor.
This weird chord down.
What's that, yeah, where's it? G?
Oh, G sharp diminished? Oh, man. This is gonna change you. Sorry. G sharp diminished. Look at this thing. I don't see this very often.
Are you pretty much writing what you have on the page?
Something's crossed off on the page.
Yeah. Something's crossed off.
Something's missing.
We're muting the A string with the bottom of your middle finger. You really only need, let's see. You really only need these 3 strings, top 4. I'm muting the very bottom. I'm not making it a big chord. If I wanted a chord, I would bar this with my first finger and make it sound bigger, but you don't have to. But you're definitely muting the A string with the bottom, the flabby part of your middle finger that's playing the top string. So I have my first, yeah.
Is your second finger on both of those?
Damn. You're like a chalkboard cop.
Somebody has to be.
You gotta be double right.
Somebody has to
Is that what it sounds like?
Yep. So, diminished chords don't sound good on their own. Michelle by the Beatles has a lot of diminished chords, and that's why like a lot of jazzers, they like that they're gonna improv over a Beatles song. They like to do Michelle because there's more a lot of dissonance in that song. But it's a tension chord. It's like a slash chord. It's like going from one. You don't just sit on it for very long. You hear it in jazz a lot, where you hear you'll hear this is C major 7, this is C sharp diminished, and then D minor 7, and then G7. But also you hear diminished chords like my favorite is when do they still have Roadrunner? Do you know who Roadrunner is? And Wild E. Coyote?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think they show those anymore because they're too violent. Oh, those are fire. Yeah. Well, then when like the coyote would string like a big rubber band, an Acme rubber band across the highway, and then a Roadrunner would hit it, and then it would like stretch, and somehow the coyote would get it. The stretching, if you just listen to the orchestration of those cartoons, it's amazing. I mean, they really had a full orchestra playing along with the cartoons. It was all written out. It was really amazing stuff. But when you hear the stretch, this, what's neat about G sharp diminished, or any diminished chord, if you move it up every 4 frets, actually 3, it's G sharp diminished again. It's very unique. So watch this. So you hear this when the coyote would stretch that rubber band out. It sounds like this. And then this is when it gets to the final stretching part. And then I'll go backwards. And then all of a sudden, coyote gets it somehow. But isn't that neat? I mean, it's just, this is G sharp diminished, this is G sharp diminished, this is G sharp diminished. So once you learn one formation, it's kind of fun. You can play it this down here too. So you can impress your friends.
What does the diminished part mean?
It means that it's a normal chord. It's just that it has 1, 3, 5, like a C chord. So to make a C chord into a diminished chord, you flat the third. So that makes it minor, C, E flat, G. But then in diminished chord, you flat the 5th as well. So it's C, E flat, G flat. So in this case, it would be G sharp, B, and D. So that's what makes that diminished chord.
So you move it 3 and it's the G
Yeah, it's
sharp
the same.
again. It's not like a B or a C
No.
sharp.
Well,
I mean,
it's
that,
still.
that particular form.
What's interesting is like this G sharp diminished has the same notes as a B diminished, has the same notes as a D diminished. But you could all call them all G sharp if you wanted to.
Is that true with other diminished chords?
Yeah. Yeah.
So F sharp, or F diminished, G would be
Yeah, B flat diminished, but you could also call it F diminished. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's a really interesting chord. So let's play this thing.
If you see, sometimes I see it says play a C diminished or whatever. I don't know what fret to do with it. I mean, how do you figure it out?
It's best to if it's C diminished, it's nice if you hear C as the lowest note. So that's which one you probably want to strive for, especially if you're playing by yourself. If you're playing in a group, you can use it any way you want to. Does that make sense?
Just want to figure out where
Yeah.
playing.
Right.
And then they also
In this case, this would be up here on the, but according to what other chords are in that song, that might dictate things. Okay, let's try this thing. So, what I would do in this case is play the G chord like this. Watch this. And I go to G sharp diminished. Because that's what the G chord precedes this G sharp diminished. So I go from G sharp to notice the middle finger is not leaving the string. Something to consider. But that diminished chord adds a lot of tension, and that's why they use it. It's a tension chord. Because I think of usually I use food as an analogy for music, but major chords are like sunny days, minor chords are like rainy days, diminished chords is kind of like tornado, warning, thunderstorm. That's the way I look at it, sonically. Okay, ready? Because it doesn't really get any worse than that diminished chord sounding. That's kind of relative though. I don't know if I can sing this high this morning. So they're big Beatle fans, and so he uses a lot of little Beatle things in here. So the intro, you can't really see, it's kind of faded. It goes from C to F back and forth, and that's kind of like an ode to Imagine. And I do that C to F twice. Okay, and then we start the song. And that's when he says, in the pre-chorus, where he says, I'm going to start a revolution in my bed. That's the John Lennon bed piece. Yoko, that's his kind of thing. So, here we go. C to F. 1, 2, this is the intro. C twice, F twice, C. Then F. Then do it again, C. Then F. Here we go. Swimming So, you know how I bitch about other people's charts, like Ruby Tuesday, had a lot to vent? This is mine, and there's a lot of problems here. So. The very last 3 lines should be pretty much chorus number 2. And we just do that at the very end. We actually, after we do the pre-chorus, I put down pre-chorus number 1 and pre-chorus number 2. I don't know why if I didn't do that for... but after pre-chorus number 2, we go back to the 2 lines in the middle of the song for the chorus. And then after we do that, then we go down to the bottom 3 lines.
That is so not.
Ball. Give it to me. Give it to me. Also, the F to F minor, I like how they stop in that song at the very last, second to last line. But man, if you don't have that F minor ready to go, then it sounds like that. Well, you're out there. You're out there naked. You got 1 strum. Do you have that F minor or not? And people are gonna know. Interestingly enough, Death Cab for Cutie is a great band. This I read that this whole song just came like all at once, which I'm always interested in hearing about. You know, some songs you have to write the verse and then you're like, okay, that chorus sucks, and I'll just sit on it and kind of come back to it. But this came all in one
Burst of cold.
yeah, like 1 5-minute little thing, which is kind of neat. Which is the best, you know, when that happens. But this is actually capo 5. And it also has that F to F minor same thing, so it's kind of like it's a Ruby Tuesday for the capo 5, and Don't Look Back in Anger for the F to F minor. Genius. I stayed up late. Perfect syllabus for today.
Can you show me that again? How do you do F?
F to F minor. So this is the big old F.
Right.
Then you just take that middle finger on it. So this is what they call the E shape. Then this is the E minor shape. And that only comes in the. If you notice, the chords in the chorus are the same chords as the intro. So that's the only time you're going to see the F to F minor. And you're going to have to do the same. It's actually the same ending as Oasis. The person, instead of putting a fermata down there, they just said, which is not as musically technical. Yeah, hold Fulkerson. Sounds good to me. Okay, let's play this
The 2
thing.
slash chords real quickly. The C
Yeah.
and the A minor G.
C/B. It's a C chord, and I'm making an E minor shape with my 2nd and 3rd finger. I keep my 1st finger where it was for C. So I mute the top string. Yeah. Does that make sense, kinda? No? Let me write it on the board. So the person who opened up for Randy Newman was Charles Bradley, and he's kind of like this James Brown soul review singer. It was fun.
Did he have dancers?
No, he was the only one dancing. But he had sax, trumpet, Hammond B, keyboard. I'll see you on the other side. Now I like to do what I call the hee-haw strum pattern. You ever seen the show Hee-Haw?
Sure.
You watch that? Do you ever
Buck
you buy
somebody
the
or other?
Buck Owens? Yeah.
A long time ago.
It's a wonderful show.
I can't believe they took it off the air.
Yeah.
And the jack they replaced it with.
Okay, ready? So I do what I call the hee-haw strum pattern, just down, up, like this. Where I'm emphasizing the 3rd strum. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, A minor, C, sharp note. But then when you go to G7, you go to normal F. You play this big old G7 chord. So that's called a minor second, where you hear those two notes. That's like the most dissonant two notes you can make in Western music. That's why in horror movies they use that, so it sounds scary, just like in Jaws. So that's hence the brain damage. So that's why you just don't see D and G7 following each other, because they don't sound pretty together. So Roger Waters is using this as a tool to kind of convey this eeriness. So I always like to think of, like, you know, in the horror movies when you see, like if I played an E and an E flat together, there's a little girl who's by herself, and it's dark. She hears something in the closet. This is E and E flat. She goes to check out the closet, and she puts her hand on the doorknob, and turns it, and she opens up the door, and the little bunny comes out. Oh. So that just the tension kind of like brings, you know, you watch a horror movie, you turn the volume off. It really doesn't really do much. Halloween, turn the volume off, it's not that scary. Jamie Lee Curtis, just get chased around. Okay, ready? So I'm going to do the down, 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 up 2 times for each chord, except for the ones in parentheses. 1, 2, 3, go.
Change.
more for the solo section. That'd be nice, but we played just blast through that full volume. So I really want to play this thing soft for the verses, and that way it's really more dynamic, dramatic if you get louder in the chorus. So it'd be nice to arpeggiate the chords to do something like this, to go this is D, and then it's G7. And that's when you go it's a creepy song. They laugh in there. And then it starts strumming maybe for the third line, soft, remembering things. And then when you go finally you get the D right before the chorus, then D7, and then you get loud. It's kind of cool. It's a dynamic song. All right, you guys, let's split.